Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Vampire YGO here again with another deck profile. As you can see, it is a Prank Kids profile. Just kind of giving a little preview, obviously, before the new support comes out. I'm pretty sure the new Link monster comes out in Phantom Rage, the Link 1. I mean, the deck in general has always been a pretty good rogue contender and can always kind of have a way of combating the meta because it catches people off guard because a lot of people don't really know what the deck does. And it has actually a lot of link power and fusion power as well. And it's a really cool deck, and it's actually really fun as well. Once you get to learn it, it's pretty easy. The combos are pretty trippy, but they all kind of go with the theme as well. It's all about the Prank Kids. So as you can see, it's like usually there's the Earth monster, which is Roxy's, and you have Earth, Wind, Fire, and Water for each of the kids, and each of the kids multiply and then combine with each other to make these crazy prank creatures that you have for the extra deck monsters and whatnot. But each of the Prank Kids effect monsters, there's, like I said, there's 4 of them. They have the ability, or 2 different abilities, I should say. One ability that is when they are linked off or used as fusion material, you can basically pop an effect, and then you get to special summon another Prank Kids monster besides that name from the graveyard, and each one has the different effects. So for Roxy's, it is when this card is sent to the graveyard using the fusion or link summoning, you can banish 1 card from your hand and then draw a card. So you can get rid of like a card you don't need or something like that, or try to get a different monster, or if you have multiples of specific ones, you can banish it out there. Sometimes, like I said, you can do the trap card or the quick play fusion as well. But you want 3 of each of the kid monsters. And then you have 3 Fansies. Fansies is the Wind / Thunder. And then it's the same thing. So when it's fusion or link summoned, what happens is this one is awesome. It's definitely a good one as well. I would say the Roxy's and the Fansies are your 2 favorite that you want to get from the, or that you want to see pretty much going first turn. The Fansies is like a Foolish Burial. When it's used as fusion or link, you can send another Prank Kids monster with a different name from your deck to your graveyard, and then special summon a Prank Kids monster from your deck with a different name than Fansies. Again, 3, 2000 defense. The other one had 15 as you can suffer attack and a 500 defense. And then you have Lamp Seized Fire. As you can see, this one's pretty gnarly with this picture. They all have like these little goggles on too, kind of like looks like a little Green Lantern type symbol there, but it's crazy. They're like these little family that lives in this weird little house that has this mom, the dog, and a cat, and then the 4 kids, and they just kind of like terrorize the dog and the mom throughout most of the artworks. I think Lamp Seized is probably one of the cool ones. And then his effect for link or fusion summon is deals 500 damage to your opponent, and then special summon another Prank Kids monster with a different name from your deck. And each one you can only use once per turn. So you want to make sure you get like basically 1 copy of each into your field, hand, or grave, like throughout your combos there. So just kind of keep cycling through until you get all of them, and then it's insane pretty much the recursion that you can do with these guys. You basically summon them out multiple times and link away like crazy. Dropsies is the water, and then the aqua, and then what this one's effect is when it's used for link summon or fusion summon, the Dropsies allows you to gain 1,000 life points. And then same thing, special summon another Prank Kids monster with a different name from your deck. And then in a 3 of. And you can kind of see like their personalities and everything, and each one's different. Kind of fits their artwork. And then off to the different monsters. This one's just kind of a, I guess you would say how people say spice tech. It catches people off guard if you kind of get a dead hand. I actually see it a decent amount. It's pretty cool. And then, like I said, with the effect of the Roxy's, if it's a card that you don't want to use for your normal summon, you can just banish it away with this, or use the spell card, the Prank Kids Pranks, to get rid of it. But it's definitely awesome if you can get it first turn going first, and you don't have you have a dead hand stuff there. You're even in general getting it as like mid game. It's kind of a little or grindier. If you have enough life points to get it out, you can kind of pretty much seal the deal. And then for the hand traps, we have the 3 Ash Blossom Joyous Spring, just standard, and then off to the spell cards. You have 3 of the field spell, the Prank Kids Place. And you can kind of see it's like their little house. You can see the mom down there chilling with the dog. And then it's pretty much just like this little area that they all take care of here. All right, I should say she does. You don't really see the cat in any of the artworks until the new one here, so I'm sure there's also going to be some other support cards, probably just besides the cat. It's the first time that they've gotten support outside of the set that they came in, besides the reprint of Roxy's Soul Fusion as a super rare. But you want 3 of them. I guess before I swoop them, we'll explain them. When this card is activated, basically you add a Prank Kids monster from your deck to your hand, and then basically there's 2 effects, kind of like how each of the monsters has an effect. When you link summon a monster, your opponent loses 500 attack, and when you fusion summon, all your monsters gain 500 attack. And you can only use it once per turn. So it's a searcher. And then you have 1 fusion recycling plant to try to get you to the, I mean, you can use more of these too. It's really good to get you the polymerization. You'd actually rather see the polymerization than the Prank Kids fusion. Even though the Prank Kids fusion is a quick play, it's definitely one you can activate on your opponent's turn as well, which is good, but the polymerization is kind of key because the quick play fusion locks you into Prank Kids monsters. It's kind of the last one you want to see then. Terraforming, obviously. Get either of the spells, so if you have the Prank Kids place, you can search for the fusion recycling plant, and you can activate them both at the same turn. And then you have, this is the spell I was talking about, the Prank Kids Pandemonium. It's during the main phase. You just special summon a Prank Kids fusion monster from the extra deck using your monsters in your hand or field. And then they all take 2 Prank Kids monsters, so all the links and the fusions. You can kind of see they're like, got caught in the washing machine or something like that. All the kids are going nuts. The mom comes in going, tripping out. And then, yeah, it's a quick play. But again, like I said, for the rest of the term, you cannot normal or special summon monsters except Prank Kids monsters. You do not want that, at least all the time. It's a good, also like mid-game, once you've already kind of established a good board. And then you have the Prank Kids pranks. So like in the kitchen, burning stuff down. This card is amazing. It'll definitely be a 3 of once the cat card comes out because it can generate a token. But it's basically you can discard any of your Prank Kids cards, not just monsters, Prank Kids cards. So you can get rid of this. You can get rid of the trap card, or if you got double of a Prank Kids monster that you're not going to get out, basically you discard it and then you shuffle 3. Shuffle 3 Prank Kids monsters back into the deck. So you can even do your links. That's kind of how you'll kind of recur your link monsters. You'll put the Doodle Doo usually and maybe like a Rocket Ride back into the extra deck, and then, again, depending on your situation, what you have, even just the effect monsters, send them back into the deck so you can keep boosting with the combos of the special summoning. And then it's a continuous, and at the end of the turn there, you shuffle all 3 monsters back to the deck, and then you draw a card. And that is at the end of the phase. And then you have, for the fusions, I guess besides the quick play, 3 polymerizations. And then, it speaks for itself, you want 3. Trust me, that's the one you want to see. 1 instant fusion. For the, 2 of the fusions are level 5s. It's awesome. One for one. I had desires in here before. I've kind of gone back and forth with them, but it really hurts when you I was just banishing too much of my Prank Kids monsters, and the combo would just get cut off because you would see like anywhere from like 6 to 8 of them every once in a while, and it just kills the whole duel there. You pretty much have to scoop once you get rid of all of your monsters. That kind of basically keep the combo linking up the ladder. But obviously Avarice is awesome. Just extra draw power. You can even do Upstart and stuff like that in here. Definitely not extravagance. 1 Monster Reborn. Actually, I guess I'll keep that because it's a Reborn card. The 2 of the World Legacy Succession. Again, these are just to keep things rolling. You'll have Link monsters on the field like crazy, and these just help out a lot. Especially if you have an Abramax out and stuff too. And then last of the spells, it's a pretty spell heavy deck, and besides the monsters, obviously, and the 3 Call by the Grave, because you do want to go first most of the time with this deck. And then 1 Prank Kids Plan. This one is during the main phase. These cards, you usually just want to get it into your graveyard so you can use its banish effect, but it's pretty much, it's a continuous trap, and then you can activate this card immediately. After this card resolves, Link summon 1 Prank Kids monster, or Link monster, with monsters that you control as material, and then when your opponent's monster declares an attack, which is the effect that you want to use, you can banish this card from your graveyard to shuffle any number of Prank Kids cards, not just monsters, from your graveyard into your deck, and if you do, the attacking monster loses 100 attack for each card that you shuffle in until the end of this turn, and you can only do it once per turn. And then as you can see, this one's like the dogs like breaking in on them through like the little doggy door, like catching them in the act. And then to the extra deck, this one's awesome. You're pretty much going to go with this one or the Rocket Ride fusion for the starters. Just reason being is they kind of get things going, and they're kind of like the normal monsters and the field spell. They have a dual effect with each other, and they kind of, even the fusions kind of have the same thing, but the monsters are kind of like, the effects are reversed, which you'll kind of see in a second here. So this one is, if this card's link summon, you can add a Prank Kids spell or trap card from your deck to your hand, and then you can, at any time on your turn, you contribute this card, and then you get to target 2 Prank Kids monsters with different names, except the link monsters, and add them to your hand. So you choose 2 of the regular normal, or not the normal, it's the effect monsters. And 2000 attack, link to down pointing arrow, left pointing arrow. The down pointing arrow is pretty much the main one you're gonna make, unless you put it under, I think, the Bow Wow Bark, and then you can have left pointing that way. And then the Bow Wow Bark is pretty much just the opposite. So that one you use on your turn. It's definitely, like I said, depending on what you get in your hand, you're gonna use that, or you're gonna use the Rocket Ride fusion to get everything going. And then you have the Bow Wow Bark. I don't know why this card's like not sticking there. 2000 attack as well. As you can see, it's like them transformed into their own version of a dog versus like the rooster there, and they're scaring the crap out of the dog, just like they're scaring him here. And then this one's effect is when you once you link it together, Prank Kids monsters you control, or this card's point to, sorry, gain 1000 attack, and then during your opponent's turn, you can quick effect. This one's pretty much the same. You contribute it to take 2 Prank Kids monsters and add them to your hand. And then for the rest of the turn, Prank Kids monsters you control currently on the field cannot be destroyed by card effects. And then it's a once per turn as well. And then link 2. And you have one of the Prank Kids Rip Roarin' Roaster. It's a pretty trippy card. It's like obviously all of them turned into some sort of Shenron dragon there, it looks like. And then it's a link 4. And then it's kind of like a heavy stormish kind of thing. It's must be obviously a link summon, and then quick effect. This card, you contribute this card during your turn to destroy all spells and traps your opponent controls. And then if this card in your possession is destroyed or sent to the graveyard by your opponent's cards in any way, you can target 1 card in your graveyard, except the link monster, and add it to your hand. And then you only use the effect of him once per turn. 3000 attack. You'll use him sometimes. You can blow up, like I said, blow up their board depending on what they have. You have the Unicorn, just for a good link 3. You have the link 4 wise, scoot you off. Borosword, access code, and Abramax are all extremely easy to make in this. Most times first turn you're gonna go with the combo of getting Abramax and the Bow Wow Bark on board with either like the trap card or the face of spell plus your Prank Kids place. And then if you're going second, things like that, you can easily make the access code talker to finish things off, and then Borosword depending on the situation as well. As you can see again, I pulled this access code talker. I pulled 3 secrets in an Eternity code box, and this was one of the secrets. This is the last pack that I opened. It's pretty trippy. And then to the fusions. Oops, sorry, shake the camera. The Rocket Ride, this one I think is the most important of the fusions. Obviously it's them like transforming into this rocket, like shooting out of the building, breaking the building. And this one is, let me focus you. If this card is fusion summoned, you can have this card lose 1000 attack and also can attack directly, so it can attack directly for 1000. Basically, it's just an extra way to hit through things. And then you contribute this card during your turn again. Target 2 Prank Kids non-fusion monsters with different names in your graveyard, and you special summon them, and then they cannot attack this turn. And you can only use them once per turn. You usually don't really use that second effect unless you're going second, but usually you go first. You don't worry about the losing 1000 attack. You pretty much just want to use his effect to split them up and then go into a link monster like the Rooster or the Bow Wow Bark. And then you have the Weather Washer, also 2000 attack. If you notice, all of their monsters that are made with both of them, so two Prank Kids monsters, same thing as well. It's like them messing with the, again, all the washing machine related crap, creating some storm monster thing. And then this one's the same thing, fusion. If your Prank Kids monsters attacks your opponent cannot activate cards or effects till the end of the damage step. And then quick effect, same thing, you can tribute this card and then target 2 Prankeds of non-fusion monsters with different names in your graveyard and special summon them. They cannot be destroyed by battle this turn. And then again, you can only use it once per turn. And then he's also water. The other one is fire. And then you have the Battle Butler. And then pretty much the the Last Warrior from Another Planet, classic. And then, so the Battling Butler, effect-wise, besides him, we'll get 2. This card must be fusion summoned, so you have to use these 3 specifically, and then not just 3 Prankeds monsters, which would be a lot easier, but you don't usually go into this one that much. It must be fusion summoned, quick effect, and then you contribute this card to destroy all monsters your opponent controls, so it's kind of like the Ronin Roaster, except it does the monsters. And then if this card in your possession is sent to the graveyard by opponent's card in any way, you can target 1 fusion monster in your graveyard, special summon it. Which is actually still pretty good. So you can usually go for the Rocket Ride, or if you're trying to defend yourself, you can go into the Weather Washer. And then the Last Warrior from Another Planet. Obviously, this one's just an amazing card in general for the Cyberstein. When this card special summon, destroy all monsters on your side of the field. And then as long as this card remains face on the field, both players cannot summon in any way, basically. Flip summon, normal summon, special summon any monster. So they kind of have to find a way to get over this thing. Sometimes you'll just pop him up first turn, and then you'll just pretty much roll over them until they die. They usually won't get anything. But yeah, that is the Prankeds. If you guys want to see a combo video, let me know. The Link one with that cat is actually going to be really good. So keep an eye out for the future. The cards have already been spiking. The Prankeds place was always around like $3 to $4, and now, if I'm not mistaken, is around like 11 or 12. A lot of the other cards as well have gone from pretty much 15 cents for like the whole, almost every card. This whole core I bought for pretty much like $7 back in the day. Yeah, like it's extremely cheap. It's probably still cheap now. I would still look into it, but it is an awesome deck. And people just kind of get caught off guard with it. And again, it's just for pretty much fun. Competitive wise, I am definitely going to be posting a Dragma video, Dragma deck profile not too long coming up here. So keep a lookout for that. And then again, thank you guys for your time, and thank you for the likes, comments, subscribes, dislikes. And please let me know what you guys think of the video. I appreciate it. Have a good night.